Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 257th edition of Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. And this week, that movie is A History of Violence, which opened in the US September 30th, 2005. It was directed by David Cronenberg. IMDb says the genre is one-person army action. And
that feels like something that's been added like post John Wick.
100%. Yeah, that category did not exist. And then they retroactively went back and just like, what vaguely counts as this? Even though it's like, it probably makes up approximately 30 seconds of the runtime. Synopsis says, a mild-mannered man becomes a local hero through an act of violence, which sets off repercussions that will shake his family to its very core. Wow. Fitzy, Mr. Poll winner, what do you think of A Most Violent? Wait, oh no, that's the movie I like. A History of Violence. Sorry. No, actually it wasn't.
A History of Silence is actually, that's good. Yeah, I don't know, like, I mean, I'm glad to get it off the watch list to answer your question. So I'm so glad I watched the. I'm so glad I nominated it. But
okay.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like I get what it's going for, like this kind of deconstruction of the, American like nuclear family, and I like the juxtaposition between like really kind of fake American scenes with this sometimes like gruesome violences in the film, like the face tearing and that kind of stuff. I think it's like a cool juxtaposition, but the film never really like resonated with me. It just kind of left me pretty cold, and like I just thought there would be more to the kind of critique, and it felt semi pointless to me in the end. But it's like, but I can definitely see the pieces being there. The pieces are kind of all there, but it just doesn't ever culminate into anything that resonates, I guess.
Yeah, I pretty much entirely agree. I think it's a fine enough movie. It's one that I think I rated fairly appropriately the first time, but then soured on as time passed and then soured on even further when it was nominated. But, I didn't dislike watching it again. To me, it's simplicity. It's kind of basic. Its simplicity is kind of what holds it back from being anything spectacular. But yeah, no, there are things that I appreciate at times. I do think the middle portion of the film is probably the most interesting, when like the whole like probably middle 40-ish minutes where Ed Harris is a presence in the film and they're kind of worried about him and he turns up every now and again. Like, I enjoyed that the most. That's kind of when it's all about, trying to peel back the layers of this dude's past and figuring out if, is Tom really who he says he is, and like the accusations that Ed throws at him. Like, I enjoy that stuff in the movie. And, the central performances are quality as well. So, not bad overall, I'd say. Jayden, what do you think?
Yeah, I wasn't loving it as much as I was expecting, but it still seems like I liked it a bit more than you guys. Learning that it was like adapted from a graphic novel like makes a lot of sense to me in like that, like in like the little amount of substance it has, and like I can so easily imagine like what a faithful adaptation to the novel would do, if you go like the whole Zack Snyder route, just to pull him again. Well, I can imagine like kind of the ultra violence of it and like the kind of stylization of it all. I was really surprised last week to learn that it was a Cronenberg, because like in my mind, like I haven't seen a Cronenberg film yet, but like he's so like interlinked with like technology and like body horror and like post-human type of things, that like doing like a kind of like middle America kind of like slice of life thing was weird. But like I get it now. Sure. I think I get it after reading people like talk about like how it's like a deconstruction of like the American ideals and shit like that. I'm like, oh, I can see how this could like fit into his like repertoire. I don't know. Like I did enjoy it. I think like from that first scene with like its shock factor to the end, I was relatively in for it.
It's also a breezy watch.
Oh yeah, dude. I will always take a 96-minute film.
It was actually, when the credits hit, it was actually 91. It was barely just got there. Oh yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's kind of why I can't be too hard on this movie, because it's like I barely took any of my time, and it was entertaining enough, I guess. Yeah, no. So I don't even know who David Cronenberg is, to be honest. Like I had heard the name before, and I've obviously seen this movie before, but I was oblivious to that. So yeah, I kind of dug into his filmography a little bit. This is the only film of his I've seen. But so I assume in when you were referencing what he's known for, Jayden, like I saw like his two biggest films seem to be Videodrome and The Fly. They were sort of the ones that stood out to me on the list. I don't know if you've heard of any others that he's done that you want to get to.
Like half his filmography. Like his is one like early days, like when I was adding everything back in 2017. Like half his things went on, Scanners and Dead Ringers and all that stuff.
Okay.
And then also like when I was looking, like he also directed that like in Rob Patterson film from 2012. So that one felt like also like a little bit of a like a kind of thumb sticking out.
Is that Cosmopolis or
yeah?
I butchered that.
Yeah. But I guess if he can do something like this, then I'm like, okay, I can see why maybe he's doing stuff. But he also did The Shrouds last year, and Andy went to see that at MIF. If that rings any bells.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So he's still out there. He's still doing stuff.
Yeah, and his son's doing stuff now.
Oh, interesting. Have you seen a Cronenberg movie, Fitzy, and how did this inform or juxtapose your understanding of what he does?
Yeah, I've seen Crash, but this feels semi. Like I can definitely see some of the similarities in the kind of little bits of like gruesome body stuff, I guess. But it feels like these aren't his main kind of forays into that. They just kind of have like almost like Easter eggs into the other, like into the horror of those other films like The Fly and Videodrome or whatever. But yeah, this film didn't really feel like Crash at all, but I can definitely see the kind of theme, I guess.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, when you guys were brought up the deconstruction of the family unit and American values and that kind of thing, like that's already, you guys sound like you've already got more out of the movie than me, and I've seen it twice. Like, to be honest, like what Fitzy brought up about like just feeling sort of like cold at the end is exactly how I felt both times. I was just like, okay, like I just couldn't latch on to anything, couldn't really take anything away from it. I was obviously this film talks about violence a lot, and I kind of saw it as like, I don't know, a reflection of maybe like the escalation of violence, which kind of happens throughout the film, as like the one inciting incident kind of then incites the family to go on and like act violently in different ways, mainly seen through bloody the kid. So like, okay, I was seeing that, and then I was also kind of, I don't know, maybe like in that there's like the gradual unveiling of like a person's true self, with like the whole Tom just hiding his true self as Joey, and then becoming violent and slipping back into that. So like I don't know, like this is kind of not the deepest stuff ever, but I was taking this away from the film, and there's dialogue about violence and all that kind of stuff as it goes on. But that's kind of all I took away from it. So you guys pointing out the American values is already more than me. I don't know. Is that? Did you feel that particularly? I'm going right to the ending, I guess. But did you feel that particularly in like the ending and like the dinner table? Because I wanted to ask about that anyway. But is that what stood out to you, or were there other key moments there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I like that last. I mean, I think as I said, I think the pieces are all there, and it kind of theoretically is like a cool scene, I guess. But yeah, it also kind of left me cold. But like I think the main thing the film deals with is obviously like identity, and like I was surprised by how good of a liar Tom is. Like I kind of the first time he kind of brushed it off really well, and I think the kind of accepting from the family of Tom's identity at the end. I mean, the wife is kind of ambiguous, I guess. But like the accepting from the kids is it makes a lot of sense because like that's like all the characters in the film deal with him through the identity that they like know him for, you know, and his identity can't he can't like get away from it from either side. You know what I mean? Like his Joey is just as persistent as his kind of Tom, you know. The ending scene was probably the most interesting, I guess, like conceptually. That felt like it was actually asking a question, you know, but the rest was kind of basic or simplistic, as you kind of said earlier.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it was asking a question. I just wasn't 100% sure what question it was asking. Then maybe like, I don't know, is is it asking the audience if they agree with his family like accepting him again, you know, as it plays out? Like, is it thrown out there as like a thing that we're meant to be critical of them for, like, I can't believe they're taking this guy back? Which, and it's not even like they wholeheartedly take him back or anything. But that's kind of I don't know. Like, obviously that is, I guess, the point of the scene is that like he sits down and is somewhat accepted, I guess. The alternative would be like he gets home and they're gone. Like, you know, she leaves a note, that kind of thing. Yeah. I guess I agree that it is sort of the only scene in the movie that sort of makes me ponder, but I'm just not 100% sure what I'm meant to be pondering. I think that's kind of on the train of thought, I guess. I don't know. How do you feel about it, Jayden? How do you feel about this scene and it being the ending?
I didn't mind it. Like, I definitely. I think I'm with you guys where I'm not 100% sure with what it's saying, but like, I think it comes off the back of like there is no such thing as like the American dream, and that it's and like I get like the idea that it's built on violence is kind of like you can kind of take that as a parable for like the violent history of, you know, America. So like as kind of like, you know, as two of that. So like in like the final scene, it's kind of like the family accepting that there is no like kind of like they understand, like they know that he's fucked off for a day or two, you know, because he's got to do some shit, and like so like it's coming to terms with like there is no perfect, like they're not a perfect family, but like there is no perfect family maybe, and like there is no American dream, there is no nuclear family kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. That's
kind of where I go with it.
Yeah, I like that. Or like, I like the way you tried to sort of expand it like to the larger historical like history of the nation stuff, because it's like, I don't know, like maybe sitting with the reality that, yeah, it's like everything that their pleasant life that they had and them being together and all that is, none of it comes in a vacuum. None of it comes, you know, without a cost to somewhere, to someone. And in their case, it's like, I guess it's like, we understand that, we've learnt that now, but we can accept it.
Yeah.
You know,
like I don't want to go too far with that allegory though, because I feel like the film tries to position itself like Tom a bit nobly in like trying to grow from your past and change, which I think is like, you know, that's fair. You know, everyone can change, everyone can grow. But then like once again, like it also I think it also says that he can't, because it's always there boiling under the surface. He says that he likes it, I guess. So maybe the film's not saying that. Okay, my bad. No, I agree wholeheartedly that with my previous point. Yes.
Well, that's kind of what, like I was sort of touching on a bit earlier, that's kind of what I took away from like the fact that, you know, I guess his starting point in the film is like his most changed form. Yeah. What we come to understand that he was, but then it just slowly unravels. You know, it's like, yes, he's forced to kill someone, and then he's forced to, you know, it just keeps going. Like then he's bloody ends up having to defend his family, and then his kid ends up beating the guy up at school, and then, you know, then he slaps his kid, you know, and it just kind of keeps going and going like that. Like it is this sort of escalation of like devolving back to your previous self, which is kind of like, yeah, what you're saying. It's kind of like, you can't
Yeah.
outrun who you really are, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a bit more pessimistic than I realized, actually. Yeah. But
I
is it
think so.
pessimistic to like not be able to like? I mean, I think it is, because I think it's I think it's noble that he tries to change, but like I guess the film's comment that you can't change is interesting.
Yeah, yeah. No, it is. I think it is pessimistic. I think. Do you agree with that, Fitzy? Is this a movie? Not that it has to be entirely about this, but is that the stance it takes, that you can't, old mate Joey can't change here?
Yeah, like I think you can't escape your identity thing, or like your true identity, like the basic kind of through line, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. That checks out. I like that. That makes sense. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed this time is just like how this, because I'm not a big fan of the first like 15 minutes of the movie with the family. I've like, because the idea is, I guess, is that it's meant to establish like how they're all like great. I guess, like their unit's great, they get along great. It's kind of like, to me, like watching it, it's just kind of weird. Like that first scene when like the daughter has the nightmare and like everyone one by one comes into the room to say, "Oh, it's okay. Oh, you'll be okay." It was just kind of corny, but anyway. But like, I got the point. Is that it's like, this family is happy. Okay, cool. So then seeing them as the movie goes on, like basically start hurting each other physically, obviously emotionally as well, but. Yeah, that's kind of what I noticed this time. Like when it gets to the point where they, bloody Joey / Tom, like, strangles his wife and they have the violent sex on the stairs. It's like, yeah, okay, this is kind of fucked. This isn't all that great. So like, I get why we had the opening 15 minutes to sort of strike the contrast there. Viggo Mortensen, he was good. I liked him. I feel like he peaked around this time in the 2000s. I feel like he went on a bit of a run around here. Obviously, post Lord of the Rings in that decade or so. And I liked him in the movie. I think when Fitzy brought up that how good of a liar he is, that's probably the best part of the performance, I thought. And then I really like the scene as well where, like, the whole scene where Ed Harris turns up on the lawn is quite good. I like that, and where it kind of falls apart there, and he basically exposes himself because that's where he admits it for the first time. That he was lying. And I like that scene when he's got Ed Harris's blood on, like, half on his face, and he like hugs Jack, but like you can read on his face that like it's kind of you see Joey there for the first time in that shot. In my opinion, it's like, oh yeah, he feels different in that scene. So I liked. That's all to say is that I thought Viggo was probably my favorite part of the movie overall. I just enjoyed watching him in this role and be just trying to read into him and sort of I felt appropriately uncertain about him in the first half. I don't know if you guys felt the same way. Like, I guess, did you believe him as it went on, or as in the first bit anyway?
I mean, I believe that when he first denied it in like the cafe, when Ed Harris like first showed up, because he brushed it off so like casually and like, I don't know, he was just so convincing.
He was.
I mean, maybe that's another thing that the movie's like kind of saying. If you like a good liar, you can kind of get away with the shit. Because like his whole identity is fabrication, and that's what the family kind of has to believe into in the end. But like I also kind of believed in Tom as a character, like when he comes back at the end, I don't think Joey's coming back. I think he'll fully settle into Tom. I believe that Tom is decent.
Interesting.
Wow.
Like
the Joey stuff didn't make me fully like I wasn't. It didn't fully convince me that he was inherently nasty or anything. I think Joey was just kind of amoral and a really nimble killer, but he wasn't. He didn't feel like dark. He didn't feel that. It was definitely like the scenes of violence were definitely disturbing with Joey, but he didn't feel like a disturbed character or anything like that. Not enough to like taint Tom enough for me.
I agree with that. Yeah, it doesn't feel like he turns into a psychopath or something. Like it's like too extreme sides or anything. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Did you enjoy Viggo in the movie though?
Yeah, he was fine. I felt like all the performances were kind of stilted though, but like intentionally so. You know, not like bad stilted, but like just like it felt like everything was kind of like had a threshold to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking with the son. Like
the son,
like
at
a certain point, I thought it was just like bad acting, but then like it makes sense for everything to be kind of like have a false kind of American feel to it, or like have a kind of like a movie feel to it, like a self-aware thing. But yeah, I definitely feel that most of the son. I thought like, and then like those bullying scenes as well were just like very.
Oh my god!
I actually watched those scenes. And I was like, is this why Zach hates freaking bullying in movies? Is it from this film?
I don't think it's from this, but this is example A in the dictionary of it, though. Yes.
But yeah, that felt like parody level, like high school bully stuff. Which makes me buy into what Jayden's saying about they kind of intentionally stilted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I also think that might just come from like the graphic novel adaptation as well. Like in a medium where you kind of need to sometimes, have things be typical because of your kind of limited tools. Like I can imagine that. And then like that's why I can also imagine like a more direct pulpy translation of the same film and that bullying scene working itself better because like a different film can kind of emerge.
Yeah. Well, I guess the thing about those scenes that I don't know, like they're so cringeworthy, obviously, but like I can accept them in this movie because like the point of them is to trigger violence in Jack. Like that's why that's why they function in the movie, and it's like okay, like those characters were so dumb and so annoying. It's like I kind of like get beating the shit out of them too. So it's like I get that. It's when you copy and paste those exact same feeling scenes into stories where the objective of the scene is to make you feel bad for someone or to make you think, oh, that person's not nice. Like that shit's terrible. That's I don't enjoy that at all because that's a shallow. But at least in this one, like I served the thematic purpose of the movie, which is like, okay, I get that. That's cool. Although I do have to say though, the actual the actual first scene with the bully on the baseball field was ridiculous. It's like the way he hit the goddamn ball and it's going up and up and up, and he just starts casually walking like he's already won or whatever, even though the ball's like clearly like about to like could easily be caught. Like they're all just assuming he's going to catch it, and then all Jack does is catch the ball that was going directly to him, and the way this kid responds. Being like he's just been like kicked it like being like Jack's just shot his dog or something, even though all he did was stand there and catch the ball. It was like so weird. Anyway, it was like felt like such a scene that did not exist in reality. It was pretty funny. But yes, anyway, I agree with his performance feeling a bit stilted. Would you say the same about?
I think even Ed Harris felt a bit stilted.
Oh, I disagree with that. Yeah, okay.
Like maybe it's just the wrong word then, but like I just feel like everyone had a threshold that they weren't really going past, but like intentionally so. Like I think in Harris's kind of, I think he's probably like the most natural feeling one, not natural as in real life, but as in like natural acting, like in an acting sense. But like I still think that in some of his like quippiness and like snipiness with Sam or like when he's at the mall with the little girl, like I just think there's an element there that doesn't feel entirely typical of him.
Yeah, I'm trying to interpret what you're saying about the threshold aspect, and I don't entirely disagree. Yeah, he feels the most natural to me in the movie. Like he feels like he really belongs in the movie. Intentionally or not, of how stilted he may or may not be. Yeah, he really flows naturally in the movie, and then that's what kind of works well for me. I like the dynamic with him and Viggo so much in the movie because it's like Tom is obviously hiding something, and that every scene they have together that is present in the scene, and the way Ed is so natural. He's so confident because he's right. He is right, and he's so confident that he's right. That then that juxtaposed with Tom is like lying really well but still lying. It just, I don't know. It plays quite nicely, I think. So yeah, Ed Harris just looks the goddamn same for like decades though. What's up with that?
Yeah, I was surprised by how he looked in this. But then like when I try to think of something, I'm not really sure what he is in earlier. That James Cameron underwater one, I think, which I haven't seen, but I've seen like him in it, and he looks the same then as well. I'm pretty sure he is.
Okay, I haven't seen it. I don't know.
Yeah, but like he looks the same in that as well. Like he's just
30, yeah.
30 years of 30 plus years of not changing.
I saw him in, I think the earliest Ed Harris performance I've seen is him in The Firm, I think, in the 90s. And yeah, he just looks the same again. It's crazy. It's like another decade before this. It's like 30 years ago at this point. But it's wild. He just looks the same. But yeah, I like his little, eye situation makeup going on. Yeah. He was, like I mentioned, he and Viggo, they were probably my two favorite parts in the movie. What about, is it Maria Bello?
Dude, I spent the entire film trying to think where I've seen her. And then when I finally opened up at the end, and I was like, oh, obviously, she plays the distraught wife in another movie as well.
Yeah.
In prison.
But I was, yeah. Like, I obviously recognized her as well, but like, did not realize that that's where it was from until I looked it up. But yeah, where does she, if we're continuing this train of thought, where does she rank on the stilted spectrum?
Quite high.
Moderately high, yeah. Okay,
yeah. But I think it comes more from like the play acting early on when she chucks like the cheerleader outfit on and like this kind of like hyper.
Oh, dude.
It's like this, like hyper fictionalized like version of a scenario of like it's like a it's her stylized version of an already stylized scenario. So like I think it kind of feeds into the stiltedness of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like the way you put that. Yeah.
I think the scene where she's in the hospital and like confronting him is very stilted as well. Like the way she's like crying and like she's like, I can't believe
this is happening.
Well, yeah. That was very.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally true. I kind of, I mean, I got to say, I'm kind of glad that the like the violent stair sex scene existed just to justify the earlier sex scene. Because like the earlier one, I'm like, why am I watching this? Like, why is this here? And it's like, oh, okay, I get why it's so long. I mean, the violent one's so long too. It's like, fuck, and they're so long. It's like, okay, all right. At least David, I see you were trying to create a contrast in the pre and post, Joey reveal lifespan here. I get that, but like, my God, these scenes were so fucking long. But at least there was a point to it. I'll take that. They take up I swear to God, like 15 minutes of the. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but 15 minutes of the like 90-minute runtime here. Is it just me? Did I pull a Jayden with Bradley Cooper, or I just did not recognize William Hurt at all?
Is this a different William Hurt to the one you're thinking of, or is it the one you are thinking of?
What do you mean? There's only one William Hurt.
Is there?
Yeah, it's William Hurt.
Why is he super recognizable to you?
Well, I didn't think he looked like this, but it was him.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
but what do you know about him that?
I just like I don't know a lot about him, but I particularly took note of the fact like the Incredible Hulk came out 3 years after this. Right. I feel like he looks nothing like this in that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's just the mustache. Maybe that's literally all it is that threw me off. But it threw me off a lot. I feel like his hair's all different too. I don't know. His whole hair situation is a lot different.
No, he was someone that I thought he was someone that I recognized, but then like I was looking through it and obviously I've seen his movies. He was in fucking Avengers, but like he's not someone that I recognize from Avengers.
Yeah, but do you know you can picture him in those movies though?
Not really. I mean, I can not really. No.
Okay. Yeah. When Fitzy and I did the Incredible Hulk, I'm just kind of like, man, how's that the same guy as this? Like, it feels like the Incredible Hulk guy feels like he's like 15 years older than this man. So I don't know what's going on there. But anyways, yeah, that confused me. But yeah, well, first of all, he got nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like that's screams weak ear to me.
Yeah.
To be honest, no offense.
To use the word that we've been using fucking shit tons, he was highly guilty of the stilted on the stilted scale. But like once again,
Yeah.
his one felt like amongst the most appropriate as this kind of like as this derivative kind of gangster kind of thing. Your Sopranos type of there's like your prime Sopranos years, and it's like
yeah, right.
It feels like you're just drawing from that,
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. But like that whole scene I think felt that way. The way he that Joey killed his henchman or whatever. It felt super awkward. It was
super awkward. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awkward. His accent was kind of awkward. Like I guess he's doing a Philly accent. I don't know. I guess. Look, the performance was effective in that it was perfectly unlikable. So cool. That I got that. But yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of there. It didn't really leave an impression on me. But yeah, no, you're right. You're right about the action though. Like the small little moments of action you get are clunky. But it's always punctuated by like an actual moment of the kill that's quite good. That's quite cool. You know what I mean? Like it all flows quite awkwardly, but like then you get the punctuating shot of like when Viggo snaps the dude's neck, or you get like the actual shot to the head, or whatever it is. Like I don't know, those kind of those little moments that stand out. They're effective, like the actual kills.
Yeah.
Well,
with the makeup on them too.
Yeah, when he shoots that guy in the head, like, and you get that close up, like that's like to me that felt like Cronenberg, just like based off of like
right
preconceptions. So I was like, oh, we're gonna like shift into something more his style, and I guess we do get a little bit more of it, but like but like yeah, but it feels like like that kind of those moments kind of feel like something that. Well, once again, I'm speaking out of my ass a bit here, but like it feels like something that he's a bit more familiar with. Yeah.
Sure.
Which makes sense given his, which I think makes sense given his film.
Yeah, speculation, but
yes,
maybe makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't really. This whole scene, I guess, like the whole going to Philly, going to the mansion, Viggo Mortensen commenting on the nice house and then the nice skates. I don't know. I didn't really feel anything about this scene. It's like this is kind of. I think this is the perfect example of like a whole. Like, it's your endings outside of the final sort of like punctuating scene we talked about earlier. Like this is like the climax of your movie, and I don't know. I didn't really feel anything when he took out Richie. Like it felt like they even gave Viggo that moment where he like goes down to the shore or whatever and like takes off his clothes. Like I think I'm meant to feel. Watch it, yeah, sure. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm meant to feel like whether it's I don't know melancholy or satisfaction or something. I don't know. I was just kind of vaguely watching it.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like Unforgiven, if because like in Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood does also do the kind of like I don't want to say stilted, but like that kind of thing where he pretends to be someone. You remember when he says like how was he says something about the wife earlier on. He's like convincing himself of his new identity or whatever, but then when we actually get him killing people in the bar, we see like the real thing, and it's like a very cool moment, where the true, where the mask's lips or whatever. But like in this, it feels like the mask is always kind of half on, and like even that lake scene, it doesn't fully deliver that moment of like reveal, and that's why I think Tom is like convincing in the end, because we never like fully. I didn't really Joey never fully like resonated with me in that way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It was never like raw, you know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like he's kind of got one toe in, I guess. Is that the right wording for that analogy? You know, like he's kind of like, yeah, he's sort of in between the worlds at different, existing in that middle space, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, like I like the comparison Unforgiven, because it's like, yeah, that it feels like the character like really devolves or like evolves, or however you want to describe it, like transforms in that scene. Whereas, yeah, it's kind of like I didn't feel that here, and it's, you know, I'm not saying it has to do that, but yeah, I don't know, I didn't really feel anything in its place either, I guess, other than just like I didn't feel anything other than the literal action that took place on the screen. I watched him shoot that guy. It's like, okay, yeah, got it. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I guess I don't know. The scene didn't really work for me in that sense, I guess. I mean, in terms of, I guess, the filmmaking, I feel like this film's got a very particular sort of feel and scale, I guess. I don't know if Jayden would care to comment more on, you know, how this contrasts with Cronenberg's filmography and the larger context of his work, of course. But I don't know. Like, did you guys enjoy like the sort of intimate, small scale story and the way it was put together, the whole thing? Like, there are, I don't know, this film's got a lot of close ups. That's sort of something I took note of. It feels very intimate, you know. You feel, you get like, obviously I don't imagine this had much of a budget at all.
No, yeah, I was actually going to ask you guys about what you guys think of that.
Oh, have you got the number?
No, I don't. But I was going to ask, like, does this feel low budget to you, or is that just my feeling?
No, it definitely did. But like, for you, was that a positive or a negative, or how'd you feel?
Oh,
about
neither. Neither. I just
yeah,
it just surprised me, I guess, if anything, at this point of Cronenberg's career. Like, I thought he'd be pulling in a bit more money, but yeah, like, I don't think, didn't really, you know, work or not work any more than each other.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. The estimated budget is 32 million. That feels high for what this was.
Yeah, especially, high for those days as well.
Yeah.
All went to Viggo. Hot off Lord of the Rings.
Dude, yeah, all went to Viggo and Ed and William, probably. Yeah. The kid, the son, got like 10 grand. Probably got a bit more. Yeah, I don't know. How did you feel about the feel of this film, Fizzy? I guess, to try and, I don't know if this helps contextualize my question better, but like, I think of the opening shot, you know, of like at the front of the hotel and the one out there, where it's just this very basic, you know, tracking shot at the front, and it's like, I don't know, I feel like that kind of represents the film in terms of just what it's going for stylistically, and just being very simple, very straightforward blocking, you know.
Yeah, like it is very like minimalist or whatever, and I did kind of expect something more, you know, more maximalist from Cronenberg, because like definitely with Crash, because there's a lot of like graphic kind of crash scenes and stuff like that, and like the flying Videodrome, I know have like a lot of like CGI and stuff, so like that was kind of surprising that there was more, like a more basic approach. But I mean, it fit into the whole kind of, you know, slow, simple deconstruction thing, I guess. So yeah, I was definitely surprised, but wasn't a negative.
Yeah. I kind of appreciate it about it, to be honest. It feels low budget in a charming kind of way, I guess. I don't know.
I think, like, your comment on it being intimate, you know, once again, on speculation. If the idea behind Cronenberg is kind of deconstructing what human is, and, you know, that idea, then like I can imagine his other films being intimate, and like, I mean, Liam can obviously speak to Crash. I don't know, like, I imagine Crash is also an intimate film given its subject, but like, it doesn't really surprise. Like, I guess it just doesn't surprise me that that's a note that you picked up on. Once again, speculating about David's films.
Are we going to just binge David's films now? We should just do all of them.
Yeah. But I think the Shroud is just the other one that I mentioned that Andy'd seen. I think that one is meant to be about his wife and about how his wife died, but it's really fucked up still.
Whoa.
So once again, I think intimacy, I think intimacy and personality and personal is kind of in most of his films.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. How do you guys feel about we talked about the violence that Tom/Joey commits, but in terms of, I don't know, the opening of the hotel and walking in there, and did that work for you? Is that kind of I think it's kind of meant to feel like you sort of have the basic wander outside and then you transition into there, and it's kind of, you sort of almost hit with this 3-dimensional space of reality, of holy shit, there's some crazy shit going on in here. I don't know, did the early violence in the film, I guess, have an impact on you and the tone of the film moving forward?
Definitely hit me like a gut punch, because when you kind of first see these guys outside, I was kind of, it just felt like a bit Fargo-y, kind of a bit more whimsical to the killers. Okay. Where there was that kind of dynamic between them, where it's they're gonna have a bit of fun. But then when you cut to inside and you realize oh no, that's not fun at all. I thought it was highly effective.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Those characters were kind of interesting because, well, first of all, so they stop the bully, they intercept the car at the intersection. They stop, I guess they. Am I meant to read it they actually stopped him? They were aware of what they were doing. They were stopping this asshole from being violent.
No, I don't think so.
It was just it was just a traffic incident.
Yeah, but I think the intention there was the false movie violent character confronting the real thing, kind of, and in the same way, in the first scene where as you said, it kind of feels, as Jayden said, whimsical and kind of movie cartoon villainish, and then you see the inside, you see the actual gruesome kind of violence that occurs. So when they have their their little moment, their confrontation moment, it's the real confronting the fake,
Yeah. Oh,
that's he recognizes that this is the real deal,
Yeah, that's right. And that intimidates them. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Because it just gives you. Sorry.
Yeah. No. You go.
I just think it gives you more information on the characters as well, that they're in a different car to the one that we just saw them in. It's implying that they've been killing again. It's.
Oh yeah. True.
Yeah.
Definitely. No, that's good. I kind of just read it as they just stopped him from being an asshole, but because then there's the line of dialogue afterwards where he's oh, I'm sick of these. What does he say? I'm I'm sick of these losers in these towns.
Honkies in the podunk towns.
Yeah. I thought it was him taking the moral high ground or something. Oh, I'm sick of these bullies, and then he goes on to touch a woman's breast and try and kill her. 5 minutes later. So that was, I don't know. I guess maybe I was looking for a contrast there or something, but I don't think there is one.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But the bully is the Schofield kid, he wants to enact violence and he threatens it, but when it comes to the moment of actually trying to do it, he hesitates, or when he sees the real thing, he's actually afraid of it,
Sure.
Frightened by it.
Yeah. That is, that's funny. I've never really
great parallel.
Yeah, genuinely. Yeah. I've never really recognized that as a writing trope, but it is one. I try. That sounds negative. A narrative device. That is true though. That is definitely something you see.
Yeah, I don't think it's super common, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the only major scene we haven't really talked about is just the the actual main inciting diner scene where Tom is an American hero for shooting two guys. Is there something in that as well, the way in which the town and the media goes so overboard as to paint him as the hero? It totally makes sense that he did save the innocent lives and he stopped the situation. I totally get that. But like, I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it too much, but I did feel like the way it was kind of over the top, like everyone comes to him like, like even that reporter coming into his house, like, you're a hero, you're like using that word so often. It was just kind of like, I don't know, is that a reflection on the culture that he's trying to point out as well, you know, as in David?
I felt like that was more of a thing to do with the character's identity. Like the whole like kind of hero thing. Like I thought like that kind of spun like a fun kind of dynamic on the dual identity that comes later as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I can see your point being also like valid. I don't know. Yeah. But I just kind of thought it like to me like that overuse of hero kind of felt more about just like plunging him into like starting the identity crisis.
Right.
That kind of that's like continually reinforced by Ed Harris.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense.
I think it's also good at inciting like it places in your head that like it's just like he's too good at, you know, like he's got too good of moves to like justify that it's just a self defense killing. So like that, sure. Like, it just makes Ed Harris's like, you know, appearance like you know like and his like kind of thing like more believable. Yeah.
Yeah, when he walks in, he's like, Joey. He's like putting emphasis when he calls him Joey every time. It's pretty funny. Yeah. But you would know that, wouldn't you, Joey? Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised by how quickly like Tom Joey kind of resolved the whole thing, because like some people describe this as like the diner movie, so I thought it would be like, I don't know, and that diner scene always comes up in like the promo or whatever on like on Netflix. Yeah. So like I thought it would be like a much larger part of the film, like there'd be like a hostage thing or something.
It's pretty brief. But,
now that you guys have mentioned that, do you guys have the autoplay on Netflix on? So like when you hover on a film, it starts like playing the scene.
You can turn that off, please.
Dude, I turned it off like 7 years ago.
Can you turn it off on the TV app?
I think you can on the TV as well.
I need to do that.
But like just log in on the computer if you can't, and just turn that shit off.
Oh, but and then it applies to the TV. Oh my god, yeah. Yes.
It does. Like I don't know if Prime has it yet, but I think Netflix. You can definitely turn it off. Yeah,
dude. Thank you. Yes, I hate that shit. Oh my god. Does it like play the whole scene, Fitzy?
I think it's like half a scene. I don't know. I mean, I kind of find the clip thing useful sometimes, but just like for films that have been on my list for like ages, it does get like obviously like very annoying. But yeah, like that diner scene I always play. So I'm like, oh, they're gonna spend the whole movie in the diner, you know? And people say it's the diner movie, but he just kills them in like a minute.
He really does. He wrecks them. Yeah, I kind of, I don't know. I kind of do like, I guess. No, I will turn it off because it does suck. But I also kind of like when there's something I've seen, like seeing what they've chosen for the autoplay scene. And sometimes it just feels so random. Like when you know the material, it's like, what? Why'd you choose that?
I'll just never forgive Prime's autoplay for spoiling the Evangelion 2.0 movie and just killing because like the autoplay for that played like the Japanese trailer, but then, you know, as you know, trailers back then they showed the entire film.
Yeah.
So like it just killed any like that's why like I'll always hate autoplay for that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That sucks. I think the only main component I hadn't brought up yet is Howard Shore's score, which I actually quite liked. It was it was foreboding, I would say. Very, I don't know, but also like as an orchestral score goes for this kind of film, surprisingly heroic at times, which was kind of interesting. I found, like, there's the scene when he's like driving to Philly. Just the whatever transition, shots of him, of the car and all that, hotels and all that, and the score over that is like kind of like he's about to do some heroic shit. It's kind of interesting.
That's a point of view thing, you know. Probably is a hero in his eyes.
Yeah, true. But yeah, no, I thought the score was nice.
Yeah. It kind of it's just like I know it's like not a small film, but like given like the cast and the director, but like it kind of has that feeling of like kind of smaller film from the 2000s. But then like you still have this epic score from Howard Shore, whereas like you just wouldn't get that these days from like
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Well, you have things on like kind of like in the independent realm that kind of have these cool scores, and then you have like obviously your blockbusters that have your major players. But I feel like there's like this whole middle ground of films that just kind of they're not getting Howard Shore these days anyway.
No, 100%.
The Sun looked familiar to me as well, but I just think he kind of looks like a combination of like George McKay, kind of like
and like the 13 Reasons Why kid a little bit.
A bit of Dylan Minnette. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. What's his name? Oh, here he is. Yeah, I've actually not seen. Yeah, I agree though. Like, I feel like maybe it is just that. All right, let's get to our final verdicts for A History of Violence. Fitzy.
I was really going to land a bit lower over the last few days, but I think I've landed on a 7 just because there are definitely some moments which, like as I said, that don't resonate, but I understand and like are cool, and I think like all the technical elements are cool and stuff, and as you guys said, it was like a short, enjoyable film. So yeah, I'll land on a 7.
Yeah, cool. Yep, I'll give it a 6. Jayden.
A 7 as well for me. Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Easy.
Good. It didn't quite, first man me, let's say, but I didn't need to fully lean into the hate so much now that I sort of made my peace with the poll win, so it's okay. I was able to let it go a little bit. Now it's time for our highlights of the week. Jayden, what have you been watching?
Something interesting, I think. What was it?
I hope.
I guess I'll talk about The Amateur. Given that I talked about Black Bag a couple of weeks ago, just spy thrillers from this year, trying to keep going.
So with this title, right? Like, I get that it is called The Amateur.
Yeah.
But since it's a spy film, I feel like it's got to be like The Amateur, The Amateur. Or the amateur, like what's another way to say that word? That's but amateur sounds a bit lame.
No, but he's a Yank and he's bad at spycraft. Like he's an actual amateur,
Yeah, okay. But you know what I mean? I feel like amateur sort of sounds like saboteur. It sort of sounds more spy-y.
Perhaps. I don't know. Maybe you can reckon with that while you watch it. It's quite good. I think it kind of flew under the radar a bit after release. Kind of like. It kind of hit your 6 and 7s, critically and all that shit. And, like, it kind of just, took it easy. But it's I think it's a really solid spy thriller. Like, it's highly technical because his job is like a CIA, like, hacker man type thing. And he's an amateur in the field. So, like, it's quite technical in that way. And, like, there's plenty of computers and there's plenty of technology that he's surrounded by and, like, all that stuff. So it's like a really fun, like kind of part of spycraft that's, it's often there, but it's never really like the main focus. Whereas like this one really like, puts it into view. Cast is fantastic, obviously, Rami and Rachel and Lawrence and Holt, and so many others.
Oh, so wow, good. Really? I didn't know that.
Dude, incredible cast, really.
So which Rachel, sorry?
Brosnan.
She's in it too with Holt?
Yeah, dude. Oh. Yeah.
Whoa! I had no idea.
No, sorry, not Nicholas Holt. Holt McCallum.
Oh. No.
I was using
like him better than the other one.
I was using first names. Did you not pick up on that?
Yeah, sorry, my bad. No, he's better than Nicholas Holt, so that's fine.
Yeah. Is it even more to get you on going?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like it was. And John Berthel was in it as well.
No, shut up.
He's not even in the opening credit cast. Like he just rocks up.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler. Like he's there like early days. Like it's okay. It's not like don't worry. It's not incredible cast. Level. Like solid spy film. I enjoyed my time with it.
Dude, you just sold me right then and there with that cast. Holy shit! I knew it was Rami and Larry Lawrence. But that's all I knew. So that's exciting.
I think the CIA director is someone famous as well, but I can't recall exactly what her name was.
Okay.
Oh, dude, Michael Stahlberg's in it as well.
I don't know who that is.
Do
I? Should I?
He's in like a bunch of shit. He's in like Arrival and
Was he Men in Black 3 guy?
Yeah, he was, which is great show. He was in like Call Me by Your Name and Shape of Water and shit.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
He's been doing the rounds for a long time now.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Sweet as. I'll just quickly say that I am almost finished the studio. I've watched 9 of the 10 episodes. The last one's the shortest, so I can basically have, like 95% completion. Sort of like I mentioned last week, but it's hilarious. It's so great. This is a must watch for any. If you have a Letterboxd account, it's a must watch. Like, it is so funny, so topical, so it just makes so unafraid to make fun of its own industry, and it's just great comedy. It really is. Like, don't get me wrong, I get a huge kick out of like seeing all the actors that turn up and all the film references, and like there's so much of that to get a kick out of. But like, if you knew nothing about any shit they were talking about at all, it still just functions as like a very funny show with like ridiculous situations that are very entertaining. Like, and the show has a great emphasis on. So the cast is phenomenal, and the amount of guest stars. Like, I wouldn't want to spoil like episodes of like guest stars. I'm sure there's plenty of clips going around of certain things, but like, that wouldn't shock me at all. But the cast is phenomenal. Like, in terms of like the guest celebrities that turn up and play themselves and shit. But the core cast is also just hilarious. Brian Cranston, like, I always find it funny in these kind of shows when like you draw the line of like who plays themselves versus who plays a character. Like, so like Brian Cranston plays a character, and that's very funny. But then, like, there's also just like, I won't spoil some people, but there's people just turn up and just themselves. But the one thing that the show does comedically that's just makes it, I've heard some people using the word masterpiece to describe this show, and I'm like, like, I don't disagree, like, respect and all, but like, I don't know if I'd say that personally, but like, I think the quality that makes them say that is how much this show is focused on one-ers and going for these long take comedic sequences that just go on and on and on, and with, that are clearly highly rehearsed and super well executed with cameras going back and forth through rooms and stuff. Like, that is the technical aspect of it that makes it rise above like feeling just like a funny comedy that you're watching or whatever. Like, it does deliver direction wise as well, I guess, as feeling quite unique. So yeah, that's kind of the main quality I'd say, that when people bring that up is probably why, because it just adds so much to some of the comedic drama of it, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, awesome show. Highly recommend it for sure. Fitzy.
Well, I've watched a little bit of The Pit, but I don't know if I've like seen enough to talk about it yet.
I feel like every time you bring up The Pit, I'm just underwhelmed by your response, and I feel like you don't like it.
No, I love it. It's great. I'm up to like episode 6, good. And I'm like at the peak of my interest. But I haven't really seen enough to talk about it yet. But
yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer, which Lucky wanted to watch because Madeline Klein was in it.
Yeah.
I've seen the original. I haven't seen the second one, but yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty average. It was just like it was very. It was basically like a Scream. I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. Just very influenced by all the kind of Scream like meta tropes, I guess, but in a very like lazy and uninteresting way. I mean, it kind of felt like the films that Scream was originally kind of parodying.
But just with sure the writer for the original I Know What You Did Last Summer is also the writer for Scream, by the way.
Okay, but I feel like the original it doesn't feel as much as Scream does, as much as this feels like Scream 5 or Scream 6, like a modern slasher. So yeah, like it was just very uninteresting and very like very unfunny as well. Like very very lazy jokes, very lazy stuff. And I hated the actual choice of villain. It was just kind of dumb. So yeah, I don't know, kind of disappointing. Not that I was expecting anything great, but Yeah, Madeline Klein was definitely in it. That was,
Did she deliver?
she probably delivered whatever Loki wanted her to deliver. She was
Sure.
there enough, and
Sure.
yeah. So I think Loki was pretty satisfied. But
I was disappointed that there was no
Yeah.
review from him.
oh yeah, I should have told him to.
No
give him
update
a
in the
boost.
good, bad saga.
You didn't log in for him. Oh man. Okay. How much screen time did Freddie Prinze Jr. get?
He got a bit of screen time. Yeah, he was there.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Mm.
Damn. I might check it out there.
Bro,
You should check out the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. No, but I definitely prefer like modern jaded Freddie Prinze Jr. over like the youthful version. You know what I mean? Now it's time for a question of the week. So we'll hand the show over to you. This week, the specific question we asked you is, what is the movie trivia you're sick of hearing repeated the most? Dr. Luke said, every time I go to Reading Cinema, someone always mentions how they serve the Slumberland people.
Isn't it a Slumber World?
I was just about to say. Luke, what is this? You ruined your own bit. No, but that's okay. Luke also said the stormtrooper hitting their head in Star Wars is overused. Yeah, that it is. The interstellar corn stuff about how Nolan grew his own corn. I have heard that. Yeah. Bill Murray did Garfield because he thought it was attached to the Coen brothers. I didn't know that. Leo in Django cutting his hand.
Yeah, that's an annoying one.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that, to be honest. Also, a little sick of hearing that Harrison Ford improvised the shooting the swordsman in Indiana Jones only because I want more info from that movie, not the same info repeated. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, those are good answers. I respect that.
Yeah, I think the Leo Django one's definitely the most annoying one for me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, like he really cut his hand.
Yeah, he actually breaks his hand. He actually like breaks the glass and cuts his hand. But like, one, studying that film in year 12 media, so you see it shit tons. But then also because it's like, a Tarantino film, it's like framed as like high art and like impressive, and it's like every time you see it, it's not just a trivia fact. It's like oh my god, it's an incredible kind of like it's like there's accounts that have an air about it when they post it.
Yeah. That sounds like they posted a lot. All right. Andy said, the common movie trivia I'm sick of hearing the most is people getting crazy over a specific scene being shot in one take. Okay, interesting.
You just used to be the studio about.
Yeah, I know. But I'm not. But it's not like I don't know. But it's not trivia. It's just fucking factual. I'm just watching it. I can tell. It used to be cool, but it's becoming more annoying in modern cinema because it's something people would keep repeating about on their TikToks or Twitter. On the other hand, a trivia people should know more about. A thing trivia people should know more about is actors performing unsimulated sex scenes. If you guys ever do Ken Park on the show, prospect guest host Dr. Luke will happily enlighten you with insights. I will assume that Dr. Luke's answer is the correct interpretation to your vague question of the week once again, since he was also on your show last week, and say the trivia for Goodfellas, where everyone is genuinely freaking out after laughing at Joe Pesci's famous delivery of "Funny How," is a constantly repeated movie fact.
That's annoying as well.
Yeah. That's a good one. Andy's not wrong that people have interpreted the question of the week differently. So he interpreted. I don't think this is incorrect interpretation. His original being about the oneers, like he interpreted it as just a general topic of trivia that keeps coming up, not a specific piece about a specific film or whatever. It's like, okay, no, I get that, but he delivered both there. But Leanne's got something a bit different for us, a bit of a real time thing here. Leanne says, possibly the most movie trivia questions. So these are popular movie trivia questions that Leanne wants us to answer on the spot.
Are you participating as well, by the way, or is that?
I haven't got the answers, so I can participate.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess. Well, actually, maybe I should have had the answers ready, but like now we got to check the answers. I guess.
Well, I know the answer for the first one.
You do? Oh, great. What are the final words of Charles Foster Kane in Citizen Kane? Dude, how I've got not the slightest idea. This is a Fitzy question because unless you've seen the movie,
is that a spoiler?
It's not a spoiler. No.
There's a rosebud. That's rosebud.
Jayden says that's correct. All right, excellent.
It literally opens up the film. Like it's not a spoiler.
So it's a book.
Oh right, yeah. But the mystery is the spoiler.
Yeah. The rest of it, yeah.
Right, yeah. What is rosebud is the question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll see that when I watch Citizen Kane when I'm 30. The next one is, what was the first feature-length animated movie?
I don't know. Because I read this earlier in the week and I've been I didn't search it up, to her request.
Is it not Snow White?
Is it? Because I was thinking it's either that or like Fantasia came 3 years after that, didn't it?
Is Fantasia that old? No, Fantasia's not that old, right?
Fantasia's 1940, I think.
I was thinking Fantasia.
Yeah, Snow White is that late? Is that 40s or is that 30s? I think Snow White might be it.
It is Snow White, 1937. Wow.
Yeah. Damn.
Holy shit. Hang on, but when did Fantasia come out? That's crazy.
1940.
That's 1940. That's crazy.
Mm.
Wow. I've never seen that. Should I? Is that a sin? Should I say that?
I mean, yeah, like it's really cool and like it's great, but like it's like a Disney animated film. Like it's not. I mean, like it's a really good one.
But like, I don't mean as in like I need to see it to get I'm going to give it 5 stars. But like, is it important to see?
Yeah, it's an important one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I should do that. This one always trips me up. The third question is, in The Matrix, did Neo take the blue or the red pill? I always get this confused.
Well, red pill is like what people say nowadays as like, like fight the system. So I assume red.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. That helps. Google, help me. Yeah, he does. He takes the red pill. Yep. Nice. Okay, good. We passed. Well, we sort of vaguely, collectively passed. I didn't really do anything. But yeah, so those are 3 popular movie trivia questions for the Cinema Effect trio. Oh, yes, and Leander says she won't provide the answers. But we answered. It's okay, Leanne. We Googled them live because we had to know if we were right or not. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to just answer them and then leave everyone hanging a week. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for the impromptu quiz there, Leanne. Thank you. That was fun. All right. What is a piece of movie trivia that we are sick of hearing repeated? Liam.
I don't really have one. Like, I don't really come across the kind of, YouTube shorts or whatever that have those things. Oh, yeah. And I don't really have anyone here that, like, repeats that kind of thing to me. So I don't really have the chance to be annoyed by it, but like the Hans Gruber, that's the one I've definitely heard the most. They dropped him before the count of 3, and his reaction is like is real in the film. But I actually like that trivia, so it's not something I'm annoyed by. It's just one I've heard a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. There might be something, but I just can't recall it at the moment. The Viggo Mortensen one is one that kind of annoys me.
Yeah.
That's definitely a heavily repeated one. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it again that he? I'm actually not trying to just make you say it again because it's annoying, but like he broke his toes, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. There's a real reaction.
Yeah. They always do like real reactions. Yeah, mine is Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight when everyone's like, oh, when the explosion didn't go off, the detonator didn't actually work, and that was improv.
Yeah. So isn't that wrong that's actually, well?
Yeah, it's false. It's not true.
Oh.
But yeah, that one goes around. And then obviously, like the obvious one is like, did you know that Darth Vader doesn't actually say, "Luke, I am your father"? He says, "No, I am your."
Oh yeah, sure.
take a deep breath every time you hear that one. Like, do you know that's actually not the line?
I was trying to think of like trivia that like people get wrong, and like that Dark Knight one is a good one. I'm pretty sure the other one that gets like mentioned is that like Michael Caine forgot his lines when he first saw Heath Ledger in full Joker makeup, but I think that's also wrong. I think that like there's also just like no lines for him there, but I might be wrong.
Yeah. That feels that feels made up.
My one also comes to like similar to that Django one, like where like people frame it as like, you know, like incredibly impressive, like kind of stuff. The one that came to mind immediately last week was in The Wolf of Wall Street, in when Leo and McConaughey have their meeting. When Leo looks over, like when like McConaughey starts like beating his chest, and Leo looks over, he's actually looking at Martin to like, you know, he's like, what's going on? And Scorsese gives him the, you know, the keep going kind of thing, and like that's why he's like does that. See that so much, and it's always like framed as like, you know, it's like, oh my god, it's so cool. Like, yeah, get over it.
But is that one confirmed false, or is that real?
No, that one's real. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But then like on top of that, I was trying to think of like ones that are false, but I didn't come up with any naturally.
See, to me, like, I don't know. That sounds fake to me. Because it's like, what, you're telling me Leo in the middle of a take is going to look to his director? Like, why would he do that? Like
because McConaughey started improvising. That's why.
Yeah, I get that, but don't they just stay in the scene and just let it play out?
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I feel like Leo would. I don't know. Maybe I could be totally wrong on that, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've come across like heaps of ones that are incorrect in my time, but I just can't remember them at the moment. But,
no, that's fine. That wasn't even the question. So you're just trying to answer a bonus question that doesn't exist. But
well, yeah, because like those are ones that really annoy me. Because like I know there are cases of where like I see it repeated and I know for a fact that it's false. Yeah, right? Yeah. Like they're like I need to see it to like for it to like spark something, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, that shit annoys me. Excellent. All right. As always, we'd love you to submit your responses, thoughts, and or reviews for next week's film in the YouTube or Instagram comment sections, or join the Discord server. This week, the specific question we'll be asking you is, and this one's definitely not going to get fiery at all, I promise. What is the most overrated animated franchise? Obviously, like, you know, Jayden mentioned this at the start. He made this clear that Pixar is not allowed.
Hold on, let's just say that Liam was the one that was bringing studios up. Yeah.
Not allowed. Yeah. Not allowed. No, sorry, I'd stop that. But yeah, not allowed. No Pixar answers. I just didn't put it specifically in the question because it should be obvious. You know what I mean? It should be implied in the question already, like overrated.
I won't say this next week.
You can't associate.
But Toy Story, like as a franchise, is severely overrated. I will just put it out there now, just so we don't have time to discuss it because we're wrapping up.
Wait, but are you actually banning Pixar? You can't ban Pixar from the answers.
Well, no, I'm not putting it in the question, but I'm just saying that it's implied in the question because there's no such thing. Pixar is overrated. Doesn't even make any sense. It's like not. It's not scientifically.
Just to clarify, you can
feasible.
Answer Pixar just for the confused.
And you should answer by saying Toy Story.
Or The Incredibles.
Toy Story. Okay. I guess you have to tune in next week for the response to that. I'm going to write an essay. All right. That's it. I appreciate Liam and Jayden for joining me as always. Liam, what are we doing next week?
We're doing How to Train Your Dragon. We're starting a new franchise, which is this is on Stan and Foxtel. Yeah, right. But everyone loves How to Train Your Dragon. So Duolingo.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it should be good.
Yeah, and just to clarify, this is the animated film, not the new animated film, the original animated film from 2010 or whatever it was. Just to clarify.
You calling this animated doesn't work. Like The Lion King 2019 is animated because that's fully CG. This one has live action people in it.
It has some live action people.
Yeah, whereas for The Lion King, it's all fully generated within a computer.
That's definitely true. There's no doubt about that.
Yes.
I can confirm they. I mean, I don't know. I heard one. I heard Pumbaa was, what's his name? Pumbaa? Is that his name?
Wow, you love the movie and you can't even fucking remember it.
I heard he was real. I heard they used a real pig and dubbed Seth Rogen on him. Whoa! Would you look at that serendipity? Anyway, that's it. Appreciate you guys for joining me. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Have a great rest of your week, and goodbye.